Welcome everyone, this is Alco193 for a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion video. A new TCG exclusive, a world premiere card was revealed for Judgment of the Light yesterday. Now, this card isn't Warrior of Zera. Warrior of Zera was released in Ancient Prophecy, which was quite a few years ago. However, this new card is related to Zera. Those of you who don't know Warrior of Zera, it's a level 4 warrior earth monster, 1600 attack, 1600 defense, vanilla. However, it does have a very nice backstory to it. Now I realize all of the dual terminal cards have like backstory, but some of the other cards have backstories as well. Like Warrior of Zera has very much a backstory it actually has 4 different paths that I can take. Warrior of Zera can evolve into various creatures. Now, its text is this: a wandering warrior who seeks the sanctuary where he can gain the power of the Archlords. To escape the temptation of evil fiends, he fights solo day by day. Now, both the sanctuary, the Archlords, and the evil fiends will appear in this. Warrior of Zera is the origin of many monsters. Now, the first path he can take is when he goes to the sanctuary in the sky, which is the fairy field spell. And he becomes Zeradias, Herald of Heaven, which is the searcher for the sanctuary in the sky. And eventually he becomes an Archlord in Archlord Zerato. The second path he can take is when he goes to Pandemonium, which is the field spell for Archfiends. He allies with the Archfiends, he becomes a Fiend, Archfiend General, which searches for Pandemonium, just like Zeradias searches for Sanctuary in the Sky, and he eventually becomes Mazira Deville. Looking kinda evil and creepy. Third path you can take is to fall to the allure of the evil and become a tribute to the Zera ritual, becoming the Fiend type Zera the Mont. Now, Zera was actually released quite a bit earlier. It was released in Premium Pack 1. It was used in the first series anime, or second series, I believe it's called. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh! That was actually still here. It was used by Bandit Keith when he was taken over by Merrick. And just a little check, look at Warrior of Zera's sword. It looks kind of like Zera the Mont. Now, the fourth path he can take is a twist on the first. He became Archlord Zerato and then fell to the darkness, becoming Archlord Zerato. And this card is actually really good in Archlord decks. But now, for this new card has to do with the first story. When he goes to the Sanctuary in the Sky, he becomes Zeradias, Herald of Heaven. And later on, Archlord Zerato. However, Archlord Zerato has a counterpart in this new monster. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet Angel of Zera, a level 8 fairy type light attribute synchro monster. It's generic, 1 tuner, 1 or more non-tuners, 2800 attack, 2300 defense, which is good, and this is its effect. This card gains 100 attack for each of your opponent's banished cards. During the standby phase of the next turn after this card is banished, special summon this banished card. You can only use the effect of Angel of Zera once per turn. I really like this new synchro, and I can see it becoming somewhat of a staple in certain decks. Now, the first deck I thought of was Agents. Agents don't really use the Sanctuary in the Sky, like with Zeradias, but if you want to go themed, go right ahead. But Angel of Zera is a light, is a fairy, so works with certain card effects. But then the banish thing, it gains attack equal to the monsters the opponent has banished. Now, you'd usually, if you want to do that, you use cards like Dimensional Fissure or Macrocosmos, and Agents don't really use that. And then the second effect, getting it banished to summon it back to the field, how does that happen in Agents? Well, Master Hyperion can do that. It can use its effect banishing a card as the cost, which then it makes Angel of Zera be special summonable later on. Now, let's say Macrocosmos is on the field in any deck. It doesn't have to be Agents, but Macrocosmos or Dimensional Fissure is on the field, and you also have Angel of Zera. In that sense, Angel of Zera is very similar to Colossal Fighter, another generic level 8 synchro with 2800 attack, which gains 100 attack per something. If it's destroyed by battle, although this one doesn't even need to be destroyed by battle, it can also be by card effects, it gets banished, and then instead of immediately, it gets special summoned back the next standby phase. So you can, like, kamikaze it into another monster with same attack, and then you get Angel of Zera back next turn, which is very good. Now, if you want to run the Macrocosmos, or you want to run the Dimensional Fissure, and you can easily make level 8 Synchro monsters, then Angel of Zera will be a very good card to use because it gets the extra attack from its first effect. And even when the opponent destroys it, as long as Dimensional Fissure or Macrocosmos is still on the field, Angel of Zera gains, well, it doesn't necessarily gain more attack, but it gets summoned back to the field, so you can just keep on using it. You can only use that once per turn, sure. But when are you gonna destroy it, like, during the same standby phase again? Probably not that much. I say Angel of Zera is a very good thing. Now, if we go into the tips page of the wiki, there will be a couple more things for you. As I said, it works in DD decks, or in decks that banish cards in general. It, one, boosts the attack, and with Cosmos or Fissure on the field, you can get the second effect to work, summon it back to the field during the standby phase. And note that it says the next standby phase, not your next standby phase, so if it's destroyed during your turn, you get it back during the opponent's standby phase. Now, you can use cards like Master Hyperion or Blacklisted Soldier Envoy at the beginning, where you use a Chaos deck, to banish it, and then, once again, summon it to the field. So you can summon the almighty BLS Envoy, and then the next turn gets joined on the field by Angel of Zera, and you'll have two really powerful monsters. Now, you can also use Cyber Valley to banish Cyber Valley and Angel of Zera to get a strong effect from a good effect from Cyber Valley, and then get Angel of Zera back to the field. And Angel of Zera doesn't really mind certain trap cards that are used often, like Dimensional Prison or Bottomless Trap Hole. Sure, you can't use it in that turn's battle phase, but you get it back the next turn. Like Archlord Zerato, BLS Envoy, Judgment Dragon if it doesn't destroy anything. A lot of cards are susceptible to those cards. They can be destroyed, banished, you normally can't get them back. Angel of Zera just comes back the next turn. Doesn't really mind, just has to wait until the next standby phase. And now look at this. This is the Fountain in the Sky. When a light monster is destroyed by battle and sent to your graveyard, you can remove the monster from play to gain life points equal to its attack. Let's say you don't have Dimensional Fissure or Macrocosmos. Use the Fountain in the Sky to combo with Angel of Zera. When it's destroyed by battle, Angel of Zera goes to grave, you use Fountain in the Sky to banish it, you gain 2800 life points, which is very much, because that's the attack power of Angel of Zera. And then the next standby phase, because Angel of Zera was banished, doesn't say from where, from hand, deck, field, graveyard, it just has to be banished. Next standby phase, you get it right back on the field, and then would it be destroyed by battle again, you can just use the effect another time, which is great. So as you can see, the Angel of Zera has a lot of options to go for, and I can definitely see it being used quite often in cards like, decks that use Dimensional Fissure or Macrocosmos, which can make synchros, which happens, doesn't always have to happen. I can see Agent's deck definitely using this with cards like Master Hyperion. Agent decks might now also be using this in combination with the spell card I just described, to gain some life points, and with that, use the Angel of Zera's effect. Now, what do you guys think of Angel of Zera? It's a very strong level 8 synchro, just one tuner, one or more non-tuners, no light attribute required, no fairy type required, no two or more non-tuners, just very generic one tuner, one or more non-tuner. Has some extra attack, can summon itself back to the field. What do you think? I think this can be a very strong card. When we used in all decks, but in the decks that can't summon it and are able to make use of the banishing part of the effect, I can see this card becoming somewhat of a staple in those decks. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video very soon.